All right, and here we are with the Project Bring Me to Life podcast. This is podcast number 21, and welcome everybody. Our podcast is here to pretty much assist the world in waking up to our divine life purpose here on Earth instead of being brainwashed and sitting on the couch like a zombie. So our motto is wake up. And before we get into the guests and what we're doing here today, we're going to go over to Ashton Robertson with today's guided meditation. So Ashton, whenever you're ready. Ashton, can you hear me?
I'm not sure if you can hear me.
Ashton, can you hear me? If you can hear me, you are a go for the meditation. Hello.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
I think my headphone got unplugged for a second.
It's okay. Whenever you're ready, you can start the meditation.
Okay. It's good to see you guys.
It's good to see you too.
Really good to see you.
Okay, let us look inward. Alright. Ask everyone to gently close their eyes, begin to focus on their breath, bring your awareness into your heart center, into your physical heart. Bring your presence into your body. Let your light spread all the way down to your toes, filling every cell. We're simply just going to allow the love that we feel to gently expand through the breath. To sit in the sea of silence, allowing whatever it is to arise to be released, and to continue to feel that heart resonance spread throughout your body, allowing joy and bliss to be the energy that fills your room, the podcast, your life. Because this energy is who you are, and it allows miracles to blossom in your life in an effortless way, without force, and with ease and grace. Continue to ground into your lower chakras, getting all the way into your body. Squeeze in there. And I want you to hold your awareness right in your third eye. And once you're ready, and once you're there, you can open your other eyes and we can begin the podcast. And I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah. Thank you, Ashton.
Thank you.
As always, another beautiful meditation. I appreciate that. And it's good to see you again. We missed you last week.
You too.
So today is the it's the 21st podcast that we're doing, so I'm very honored to be sharing it with everybody. And today our guest is Shantastic Shan, and she's here to talk about many projects that she's had and some that she's currently doing. So welcome, Shantastic. Welcome to the show.
Thanks. I love being here as usual.
Yeah. You're here to talk about Paint the States.
I am. I'm really excited about the project I'm working on. Currently, I have about 50 paintings. I have a couple that I'm working on and I'm changing up a little bit, but they have been hanging around my house or packed away in storage for gallery shows. And it's just, there's some of them I've had for a while, and I'm just ready to give them to new homes. And I thought it would be an amazing idea to not just try to sell them to people, but get one in every single state so that there's a little piece of me everywhere I go. And I'm just really excited to get that project kicked off.
And so you do have a few states that you currently have at the moment.
Yes. I need to grab my list. I meant to grab it. I know I have Ohio taken care of, and West Virginia, New York, Washington. I believe Oregon is now covered, as well as Virginia and Alabama. But I need a lot of like the lower south and just the West Coast. So that would be awesome.
I can help with Texas.
What was that, Ashton?
I can help with Texas.
There we go. We got Texas.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about what inspired this project to occur. Why do you want to get a painting in each state?
Well, I think it's really important for artists that are really just starting to try to get their name out there. And I wanted to just spread out as much as possible, and to be able to get a painting in every state, then literally anywhere I go when I cross the country or just travel in general, I'd be able to say, oh, I have a piece of art there. And at first I was just going to start dropping paintings off places, but I'm kind of excited to see where they end up. And by not necessarily charging people and just looking for donations, then it gives everybody a chance that wants one, a chance to receive a piece of art. And just, if they don't want it, then they can trade it with somebody, or it can find a new home. But that's putting the energy out there so that the piece finds its true owner, and it just has a chance to flow with the energy and create a beacon of art wherever it goes. I'm excited that it's going to be like almost like a connect the dots thing too, because I'm keeping a map so I can mark off where in the state the projects are going.
And see, you do have a Kickstarter that you have started.
It's actually an Indiegogo, and the link is on my website. So if you're interested in donating towards it, it's basically just covering shipping. Doesn't really go towards the materials because it's going to mostly just cover shipping costs. And I just want people to keep in mind that artists, especially a lot of them were done when I was going through art school. And art school, not only do you pay for the schooling, but you have to pay for all your materials and just all your promotion and a chance to make a portfolio and everything. It costs a lot of money, and to be able to just put my heart out there and want to practically give it away, just the shipping coverage helps so much towards getting my name out there.
And your name is?
Shannon, or Shantastic.
And I don't believe we did get to ask you this question, the first podcast that we had with you, but I would like to ask it to you now. Who are you, where do you come from, and what's your purpose here on Earth?
Well, my name, like I said, is Shannon, and I go by Shantastic Shine, which was a nickname kind of given to me by a lot of friends and soul family. And it was just Shantastic for a while, and it kind of sounded a little silly, and it still kind of does to some people, but the shine part came because I really liked making things glow and light up, and not really a fan of the darkness. So being able to shine things up for people really brightens my day as well. My purpose, I think, is to motivate others as well as myself to just really go for your dreams rather than talk about them. And when people tell me, oh, I want to do something, I try to be one of the first people to be like, yeah, do it. Why are you just talking about it? Because motivation is key, and having someone that backs up your dreams, even if they're silly to someone else, is important to everybody. And that's something I look for in friends and loved ones.
And so you do a lot of paintings. Is there, any of that that you had that you wanted to share? I can screen share your profile or any of your pictures if you had any ones that you want me to do that for.
Let's see. I did just upload some pictures. Well, you could play this slight intro from Indiegogo, or I can play it. It's got a short video of the scanning of a lot of the paintings I have. I can screen share if you'd like.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. So she's going to screen share her video for the, you said Indiegogo?
Yes, it's
Okay.
got my video for the project that I created, and it just got some general pictures of the work I did. I have it muted so we won't have audio, but we will have a video. And these are just some of the paintings that I generally created throughout high school and college. And when I first started my Shantastic Shine Creations Collective, I did some of them live. A lot of them that I did live was live at Sunshine Daydream. And some of them are multi-pieces. Now, as you can see, they're just all different sizes, and some of them are more than just paint. There's some wax art in there and some spray paint art and just all different kinds of just techniques that I really wanted to share. Yeah, if you listen to the whole video, I give another description of pretty much what I was doing with the project and how I want to share it. And let's see here if I can get a little bit more video of the artwork. Yeah. And this is a project that I've actually already started. The Indiegogo is in effect, and you can donate to it as little as $1, and that will help ship some of the smaller ones. And if you don't want a painting or you just don't have a way to carry it, because I know a lot of people are travelers, I can ship the painting to somebody else in your honor, or I can just use the money to ship to the rest of the people that are claiming different states up. And like I said, you can also trade. The other thing behind this project is you don't necessarily get to choose which painting unless you have a strong desire for one that you absolutely feel is calling for you. And then you can message me or email me and take a choice of what you want. But pretty much what I'm doing is I'm kind of blindly sending them to the person that I feel really needs them or wants them. And I just kind of take a feeling for it. And if you don't necessarily want that one, what I'm going to work on is creating a chat or a forum on my ShantasticShine.com where you can trade the painting with other people who may have got a painting of mine that they don't want as well. That way you have the chance of getting another piece that you saw.
And so do you want to talk a little bit about why you started painting or why you are still painting, maybe what inspires you to paint?
Yeah, I actually started painting when I was younger, and I love drawing, but sometimes I can't get the perspectives just the way I want to. And for people who haven't taken a chance to paint because they think they can't draw, painting is a completely different medium, and it's a different feeling. When you put a paintbrush in your hand, it's just, it pretty much flows itself. And to be able to play with the different colors and learn how the colors blend together, it really kind of shows you a new world around you, because then you see how light is affecting what you see in reality. So painting is just pretty much creating a reality on a canvas, and I just love creating things.
Yeah. And so as you can see, we have the owl painting that you did over here. Do you want to talk a little bit about what inspired this painting here?
I really like owls. I believe they're one of my totems and spirit animals. They're very wise, and my name actually means little wise one. And when I think of wise, I think of wise old owls. So I just kind of put some color into it. I went through a really colorful rainbowy phase where, as you can see, most of those paintings are really super colorful. And the owl actually was one of the first ones claimed, but it glows in the dark, and so do most of the other ones. So by using the brighter colors in the painting, when it glows in the dark, it gives it more of a neon-y feel, or just like a really good vibration for your eyes, and keeps them active and interested in what else is happening.
Beautiful. And is that Jerry over to the right there?
Yes, that was a Jerry Garcia one, inspired from an interesting trip to Sunshine Daydream.
Yeah, so has Jerry Garcia played a significant role in your art?
I'd say that he did it in a sense. When I first got introduced to the festival scene, I was strongly influenced by the Grateful Dead family and the crew, and just the whole background to it. There was a lot of like older heads, was what they called themselves, and they really had what I wanted from the festival. They had the stories and the love and just the background that was more about finding true peace rather than the party. And when I go to a festival, I really look for like finding more people that are about that lifestyle of the art and the music, not necessarily the party aspect. And when you listen to a lot of the Grateful Dead music, it tries to inspire more insightful thinking. And so to me personally, he had a bigger role, but I think it's a bigger role than what he has in most of the quote-unquote Grateful Dead family kids' lives these days, where they're more interested in partying. And I just hope to see more of our generation get into the art and music.
Beautiful. And another thing, I noticed a lot of trees in your painting. What inspires these trees, and what do they mean to you?
Trees was really a way to help me grow. I went through like a painting growth spurt, so to say, where I just wanted to play with as many colors as I could, but have kind of a consistent subject, almost make a series. And I was playing with multiple canvases and trying to grow my different methods. And trees were just something that's obviously been like a staple in most of our lives, because at least I'm surrounded by trees. And just they never have to be the same, and they never have to be a certain way, because I've seen trees look like almost everything. So being able to paint trees, it just gives you that free expression to really just let the paintbrush flow where it wants to go. And that gave me a lesson in that, because I used to try to plan things out too much and get really frustrated when they didn't turn out.
Why do you think we as humans get frustrated when our expectations don't turn out?
I think it's one of those ego feelings where frustration is just almost expected in this reality, because well, I know I've explained this theory to you, so I might as well just go with it. I think that kind of we're sent here in a way that this is almost a version of, not necessarily hell, but hell-like experiences that we go through to learn the lessons that the higher creator wants us to learn. So when we're down here going through those lessons, it's just a common feeling of frustration that the collective consciousness is built, because we don't necessarily want to go through these events. We just want to live that peaceful earthly life that we all are striving for, but we don't realize for a long time, and some of us may never, that we're really here to learn those lessons and be frustrated, so that when we do move on to a higher realm, that pure joy is fully able to be accepted, because we've learned all of the frustrating things here.
Yes. So this is the Project Bring Me Life podcast. We're here with Shantastic Shine, and she's doing a project she calls Paint the States, where she is sending one of her paintings to each state in the United States. And you said eventually you're going to go worldwide?
I would love to take it international and be able to get one in every country. I kind of just went with the Paint the States title because it kind of rang, and it was something that I bounced around in my head for a while. So I figured if I could get at least 50 of them out there, then by the end of next year maybe I could go with 50 more countries rather than states. And it's just a project in general that I want to build. If I can do it the first round, then I was hoping to make it my goal to do 50 paintings maybe a year or every 2 years, depending on how detailed and how much time I'm going to put into my work, which is you never know how much effort and energy you're going to put into a painting, because everything changes once it starts going on the canvas. And generally, if I could do 10 rounds of it, I'd feel blessed, and then I could just start pretty much donating my paintings and keeping prints to trade or to, I guess, sell for more materials. But it's a project I'd really like to keep going and grow as much as possible.
And so I wanted to talk a little bit more about why it was important for each person in one of the each states. That means I know we talked a little bit about it, and something along the lines of each person will have that little fractal of inspiration or something like that. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I really think I don't know. I don't necessarily want to sound power hungry in it, but I think it's a power thing. Like once you put those little beacons of energy out there, then it's like a spark for someone to talk about it. And I just feel so happy and energized. I mean, I think anybody does when they're an artist and someone talks about their work, and it gives you a smile, and then it motivates you to compliment other artists on their work. So if there's a painting of mine in every state, that's someone's home that it's going to be in, and I feel blessed to know that someone might walk through it one day and be like, hey, that's a really awesome painting. Where'd you get that? And then that person's like, oh yeah, I got it from this project that Shantastic started. And then maybe more people will start painting the states, and we'll have a whole revolution of painting the states, and everybody will want to do that. And I generally don't mind if people borrow the idea, because I probably am not the first person to do it, and I think it's just a good idea to get your name out there and everywhere and anywhere.
Yeah, indeed. So we do have time for a few more questions, and the next question that I have for you is, I'm not sure if you said it or not, but when did you start painting?
I think I've always been painting. I used to get in trouble because my grandma would paint all the time, and she'd use a paint called oil paint, and it's kind of a paint that almost feels like it never dries. And she was painting a portrait of I think a duck or some bird, and I just decided I was gonna stick my fingers all in it. And before she could stop me, I had it all over the place. And there's a lot of artists might know, like I said, oil paint never dries. So I had sticky oil fingers for days, and my clothes were ruined, and there were spots on the wall. And after that, she just started giving me paper, and I just painted from probably as young as I could. When I really, really started getting into it and wanting to do it as my project in life, it was probably like junior year. I decided that it was a thing. I painted a portrait of John Lennon, and I won a couple awards at a high school art show.
What award was it you said?
I think I got
Artist of the Year?
Well, actually, I got Most Valuable Artist in college, but in high school it was just like it was like a fan's choice. All the students got to go around and vote, and I got an award for that. I think I got that 2 years in a row for a different piece. One of them was like a Converse. It was like Converse Chucks. They were purple Chucks that I wore like every day in high school, so I did an oil painting in them, and I won that too.
That's beautiful. Oh. So you would say that your grandma was definitely the main inspiration?
Yeah, my grandma was by far my main inspiration in pretty much all things art. And I felt like I lost a piece of me when I lost her, so it's been like harder for me to get back into my art. But I think that's another reason I'm really pushing for this Paint the States thing, because when I lost her in August, right before my birthday, I decided that I wasn't going to stop art, even though it reminded me of her, because it was just an important thing to keep going, so I could keep that piece of her going, because she put it inside of me. So by pushing the art and everything, I told her before she passed that I was going to take her on tour. And since I can't take her on tour, I feel like I'm going to take myself on tour and take her with me. And my first step is, like I said, getting one of those beacons of energy out everywhere so that I can start looking for more places to live paint and more contacts and people that are interested. Because once I have a person interested in every state, then I feel like there's really no limitations.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. So I think it's about time to...
Yes. Yes.
Okay, now it's time to start the cosmic energy forecast. And we're going to start off with Shantastic Shine. So whenever you're ready, you are on.
Awesome. Let's see. 1 second. All right. So our moon is currently at a 6% waxing crescent, and it's been taking quite an energy ride this past week. The whole cosmos pretty much have. We've had the new moon, which fell on the solstice this past weekend, which was pretty much powered by Capricorn, which brings in yet another shift in our major awareness and given the whole collective a push and an opportunity to stand true to our soul paths and really to push forward with them rather than what the collective would normally want you to do. So normal jobs are starting to seem sort of boring to people because they really need to look more into their quote-unquote hobbies, which may be their real divine purpose. So it's definitely a time to tune into our heart spaces, focus on some self-love, and supercharge our personal strengths so that we can use them to our advantage. Some more cosmic turning points happening right now have been the Sun and Moon and Jupiter are all acting up on us. Jupiter's in retrograde until April, and it's pretty much the season to come together and unite our intentions and visualizing a more light for the planet. With the new year coming, it's definitely not a time to be afraid of anything. Especially as a collective, we need to truly strive for the peace within ourselves and just build our communities up as well. So you may feel the strong energies pulling towards or pulling at our consciousness levels, and it's really a good time to take time and meditate in candlelight since the moon's kind of hiding from us, and focus on what empowers you so that in these darker times we can bring the light for the new year and not only empower ourselves but others. And to remember, and it may sound cliche because you've seen it on all the Facebook posts, but we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and that it's time to really recreate ourselves and just start the new year off right. During the new moon, the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, Pluto, and Venus were all actually aligned with the sign of Capricorn, which is encouraging us to take charge with the here and now. We really just need to stop talking about what we want to do and do it. I've seen several people talking about this today too, which really just kind of concrete that point for me. So be leaders and show your honor and don't just speak about it. And remember to ground and center yourself before you take action so that you know you're truly speaking from your heart and not your ego. And one more thing was Saturn is moving from Scorpio to Sagittarius. And the Scorpio is promoting us to embrace our shadows and to not feel shamed by what we truly feel inside. And even though you may have been abused or shamed for something before, it's time to really release that so that the negative feelings can be transmuted into more good karma. And just you'll have more energy to do other things when you're able to forgive yourself, which is prepping you for when Saturn goes into Sagittarius, where you're going to be more empowered to reach for the stars and redefine your belief systems to something that better serves your higher self. So pretty much that's all I have, and I'm excited for the new year and what all of the cosmic energy is going to throw at us.
Beautiful.
Get to do solar update. It's your turn.
And now over to Sealman with the solar flare update. Hey everybody, this is Sealman with space weather for September 23rd, 2014. Over here we'll get to the chart later, but first I want to just expand upon the planetary alignments. So, there's a bug next to me, sorry. So, Uranus is in Pisces, we got Jupiter in Virgo, Saturn, as Shantastic said, is over in Sagittarius now. Mercury and Venus are in Capricorn, Mars and Neptune are in Aquarius. And if you didn't know, this new year now, is the year of the sheep in Chinese astrology. So if you are a sheep, it is your year, and good luck to you, and many blessings upon your path. So now we're going to go over here to check out some of the happenings in the chart for the solar flare activity. And as you can see here, this is what I wanted to show you. We do have an X-class solar flare. And as you can see here, the red line going all the way to the top, where it's the X, and then kind of slowly, gradually goes back down to the seed. And it won't let me scroll down right now because it didn't load. But here it goes. The X class came from active region 2242, which, if you watched the previous podcast, you'll know that is the main active region that was shooting out a lot of solar flares. Some people are calling it the bear claw sunspot because when it came back around to face Earth, it looked like a bear claw. And so that's what is going on the chart. And I have a little bit of a motion going on here. As you can see, this is just a direct feed of the sun. NASA sent out this wonderful webcam many moments ago. So I'm going to just speed this up so we can go a little bit faster. Get exciting! Let's get excited. Look at that giant solar flare in the bottom right corner of the sun. That is a big solar flare, and we're definitely going to feel the effects of that, especially with Christmas coming up. There's a lot of energy focused on just holiday season, spending time with your family, and giving. And it's a very giving holiday. Very giving holiday, as I said. For me, it's a time to spend time with family and just show them how much you love them. Ooh, I saw that big one. That was a big one. So that is it for Sea Lamont with the solar flare update, and now we're going to go over to Ashton Robertson.
Hello. Hey guys, time for some space weather with Ashton.
Space weather.
Okay, so trying to tune in, feel the space. We're at a very critical point right now. Not only are we transitioning to a new season, into a new year, into a new phase of the moon, forward motion all around. The ascension path that's been happening for the last 20, 30 years is really moving into phase 2 of ascension. We've really been in this cleanse other people's fields, transmuting energy, really serving the other at all cost, and we're really kind of changing courses into the full initiation of self-love, into this expansion and taking flight of your own energy, and kind of as you rise in energy, everything that is no longer in alignment is naturally falling away. And I have this group, everyone that's listening to this, I have this feeling that you've been putting your work in. You've been putting out your intentions, putting out your prayers, manifesting, and really we've gotten to this point where you have this momentum, and all you kind of have to do is open your arms and receive heaven's help. The spiritual realms want to give you all of your dreams, but it's just a matter of you looking inward, diving into your beliefs about self-worth, and allowing the natural abundance that is your divine birthright to be pouring into your life. And sometimes it comes down to us noticing little things in life. I was driving on the highway earlier with my dad, and birds flew in our face, and I look over and there's like 500 birds in the sky, and it's beauty is all around us. Heaven is all around us all the time. And by tuning into those small moments, we're tapping into higher energy and really getting to a state of gratitude, which really allows abundance to flood into us. So we're really moving from this, I wouldn't say a space of lack, but I'm going to say a space of lack into a space of gratitude and abundance. And it's just kind of that simple shift of allowance, because we've all put in so much work. And it's time to let our hearts sing. It's time to tap into, I feel like the word luxury is popping up over the last like 2 or 3 days, like allowing yourself to follow your highest, most potent dreams to the fullest potential, to really soar. I don't know, I feel like we're at such a crossroad point in humanity, and as light workers, starseeds, we've all gone through so much. We were all kind of black sheeps in our family, and it's time for us to shine. We're that next generation that's going to awaken the planet, and the spiritual realms are really like knocking on your door right now, saying like, hey, you're about to like tap into a treasure chest, and things are about to flow more easy for you because we've transmuted so much karma, let go of so many old past relationships. Things are really just kind of like naturally falling away. It's like your soul's going through this awesome workout and you're sweating and it's like, oh, I feel so much better, and like serotonin's just coursing through your veins. But it's coming down to, because you made the choices that you've made, because of the person that you choose to be, life wants to show that you're doing amazing things and you deserve more than you can imagine. So I think it's right now the energy is kind of just saying, receive. You've been giving all of your energy to everyone your entire life, and it's time for you. Literally, it's time for us. So as the moon goes forward, take some time to meditate. I really recommend getting into good music. Allows the manifestations to quicken. And that's really it.
Oh, thank you, Ashton. Beautiful. So our next thing is we're going to go over to Shantastic for her card reading, weekly card reading. While she's getting ready, I would say to the audience, if you have a question you'd like to ask Shantastic, you can send it in the chat. Sound like a tornado. But if you wanted to come on and be on the podcast and ask her a question face to face, I guess you could say, then that is the case. Send in the chat and we'll send the link to there. So, are you ready?
Yeah, my picture.
I will get it. So here is Shantastic with the card reading for this week.
Okay. For this week's card reading, I did a slightly larger pool than normal because it's the end of the year, and I always feel like for bigger events, especially the holiday season, it's a good time to pull a couple more. I usually do like a 5, 6 to 7 max card spread. Sevens from heaven, and I did pull a seventh card for this reading, but it wasn't shown. Pretty much I took it after the first initial reading. And this card reading is just kind of laid out so that it's a stepping stone to what is to come. And it wants us to know that we're leaving a time of being trapped in fear and suffering, and that's no longer to be a part of our current world. And that it's really the time of accelerated motion. And our stars are just aligning for us in such perfectly ways that it would be silly of us to not use them. People say that sometimes the stars and such don't mean anything, but with all the synchronicities that are lining up for us as star seeds and just as a collective whole in general, I think it's really important that we look to both those and our guides, as well as the cards and more, to help us with that moving forward step as a visual. It's a good time to show enthusiasm and look into things that make your personal gears turn, and follow those guides and listen to those little voices inside that really make your heart flutter with excitement, and show the world what makes you tick with the most positive intentions possible. By opening our crown chakras, we're allowing our intuition to pretty much take over and take the wheel for us. And that really just gives a chance for synchronicities and so-called coincidence to happen. And those are powerful signs that intuition is knocking at our door and trying to move us forward. And especially if you've heard a phrase or a saying repeatedly, and if the same numbers keep showing up in your life, maybe those really do have a reasoning. Personally, I've seen a lot of 222 lately, and I had several people comment about how they've also been seeing 222 lately. So maybe that's just a specific time of the day you should take a moment and meditate and see if you get a download from one of your higher guides or higher self to what your purpose is or what you should be moving forward with. It's also a perfect time to seek those answers from within and just turn inward, where you'll find solutions and rather than depending on other people in the physical realm right now, because I don't think anyone technically knows what they're doing. And if they tell you that they 100% do know, then they're not going with the flow. They're planning something out, and they may crash and burn. So be careful of whose advice you're taking at this time. So don't stay trapped in fear any longer, because once you really allow your crown to fully take its place upon your head, then you will get that recognition and reward that you deserve, and the light will shed down upon you, like the little man on his pedestal. And he just looks like he has a weight lifted off his shoulders as he has a lit up halo of light around him. And that halo is kind of peeking at him in the very first card, in Trapped in Fear, where he's stuck behind the grid. And just don't let yourself get put in one of those boxes. It's removing the collective in a better path, but they are still kind of trying to categorize people, and that's one of their ways of really bringing us down, is by putting us in boxes and making you feel like you're stuck in the grid. So stop suffering in silence and speak out about the things that really grind your gears, and just help that accelerated motion take its way through so that you receive that recognition. And that's all I really have.
Beautiful! Yay! Thank you, Shantastic, for your beautiful card reading. Now we are come to the portion of the show where we invite anybody to come on, and we'll get the link ready, and I'll set it in the chat. So if you're in the chat, stand by for the link, and all you have to do is click it to come on. So I know Samantha said that she wants to come on for sure. I posted the link in the chat room, and as we wait for some of the guests to come in, Ashton, did you have any question for Shantastic?
Let me think of something really good.
While we're waiting on the question, I did forget to mention that anyone that donates towards my Paint the States thing, I have this little bio that I'm putting with all of the Paint the States things, or paintings, not things, all of the Paint the States paintings that will go with it. That way it states that it's part of the project in the first round, and if I do any other rounds, I'll also date them and number them so that it can be a continually growing project. And you'll get a little bio so you know who it's about, and a little more about me.
Wow. Wow. Ashton's still thinking, do you want to talk about that painting?
Hanging above my head.
Yes.
Do I bring it down?
Yes.
Okay. This one here? He wants me to talk about this one. This one actually started the day or two after I met him, and he decided he was going to take over my studio and start painting, and asked me if I wanted to paint with him. And I pretty much just fell in love right then and there, because I hadn't had anybody that really just wanted to paint with me. And it was just really fun to be able to sit down and paint with somebody. And since then, he's created these four that are behind me. This one's still in progress. But this works is pretty awesome. And hopefully one day he'll be doing a Paint the States project too. And he'll have 50 paintings to get to everybody.
Yay.
So I'm going to motivate him. That's one of my purposes. Is to motivate him to do 50 paintings for 50 states.
Beautiful. Back over to Ashton.
So I'll be staying with you for a few months. I am so inspired by how much determination and like consistency you have. So my question is, what is it that inspires you to be so determined and strong-willed with your art?
Well, I'm very headstrong to begin with. I'm a Leo, so I don't necessarily like to give up on things, especially if I can strongly do them. I will roar until it's finished. In general, I lost both my parents at a really young age. I lost them before I was the age of 10, and neither of them made it to C35. So in my mind, it's really important to do things while you're younger still, because you may not have that chance to wait till you're older to do something. Because they had a lot of dreams and a lot of things they wanted to accomplish, and they didn't get to. And I would like to think that as long as I am really going for what I want, even if I don't make it to the quote-unquote top, I will still have at least worked as far towards it as I could until the end. And I really want other people to do that too.
Kind of were breaking up there at the end. What was that again?
I just really want people to be able to go for the dreams instead of waiting for it and saying, oh, that day will come, because that day may not come. So the day is really just now. So the motivation to do it is, I might not have tomorrow because my parents didn't, and a lot of other people I know don't make it that far. So do it now while you have the chance.
Yeah, I love that so much.
Thank you, and thank you for the question. So, Samantha, you are on. Let's get you on.
Hello, beautiful.
All right.
Ashton, it's so good to see you back.
Thank you. It's so good to be back.
Yeah. How are you guys?
Wonderful.
We are awesome.
Good.
So good. I'm about to go bowling.
What did you say?
I said I'm about to go bowling.
So I just wanted to make a comment and kind of share something with you that really inspired me. It was funny that you brought up owls because I was going to bring them up before you started talking about them. Because when you were talking about your name, Shantastic Shine, and you were talking about how you don't like being in the dark, and that's kind of how you came up with the shine part. I actually have a tattoo of an owl.
Aww.
And I got it for a few reasons, but during the session when I was getting it done, my tattoo artist, she was working on it, and she was just kind of like, yeah, you know, well, the beautiful thing about owls, and she said they see through the dark.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I don't know, when she said that, it was just so, like, profound to me, like, I don't know, so simple, but I was just like,
I love that. I love that a lot.
Absolutely.
Owls are just like that figure that I feel like a lot of people who are afraid of the dark resonate with, because when you hear an owl, it's almost like a guardian's there to watch you. That's who's there? Like, what is going on? And
right. That's part of the reason I got it.
So you have a guardian on you at all times.
Exactly. Yep.
And I just want to, while you're on here, I want to say thank you, because you were one of the first people to donate to my Paint the States project. So I am blessed that you got to come on.
Yeah.
And I know if Barbara could come on, she would too. And she was also one of these people. And you guys are going to get the 2 first Paint the States paintings.
I'm so excited, and it was such a pleasure. Like, anything I can do to help out, I'm all for it. So.
Just a major shout out to you in general. You've been doing a lot for a lot of people this season, and I know you feel blessed in general to be here this season, and we're blessed to have you and
Absolutely.
just to have you sharing light with all of us.
Right. Well, I'm so blessed to know you guys, and just like, I don't even know, I'm so like happy and excited right now. Like, so many good vibes.
Joy.
Joy is the season.
It is, yes.
Well, thank you, and I hope I'm glad you came on.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Too. I love you
Your
guys.
owl. Does he have a name? Real quick, does your owl have a name?
Oh, it does not. No.
You should name him, and then he will be the perfect guardian.
You'll have to come up with the name.
You come up with the name, and I'll check back with you.
Okay, sounds good.
Beautiful. Thank you, Samantha.
All right, thank you guys. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so our next question is from David Diamondheart.
Awesome.
David wants to know, do you do something special to imbue your art with higher vibrations?
That's a good question. Lately, I've actually been using the symbolism of frequencies in my art, and something I want to start doing when I go into my next series is I'm going to record words and actually look at the frequency so I can put the vibration, the picture of the vibration in it, because I think that it's important to know what kind of frequency you are putting on your art, because that's going to resonate with somebody. What I've been doing since I started is I really like to light candles. I'm a fire sign and an air. I flow with the air a lot. And just in general, when I light the candles, it kind of puts me in that space of like a sacred space that I can connect and just feel it. And then I kind of just chill for a few moments until I see the full image of what I want to try to portray. And I will be honest, I can almost never get what my guides are putting in my brain on a canvas. But it's another thing I should mention is it's not just me making the art. It's my guides and your guides and spirit in general. The fact that I resonate with a lot of the people that I surround myself with, personal guides and spirits, so they influence me a lot. Like when Ashton was here, I was getting vibrations from him and his guides, and Sila was here all the time now, so his guides are a big influence as well too. And I just feel like by focusing not on what necessarily I want to create and what I feel is being pushed to create, that's putting the vibration in it itself.
Yay! All right.
Yay!
So
I
next
love that so much.
I got some really cool vibrations from your guides. It's nice and high.
nice and high, huh? So let's see. Our next question comes from Ree, and Ree wants to know what inspires / influences your paintings.
Like I said, different guides. Lately, I've been doing a lot more dreams. I had one of them actually. Let's see. I don't know if I have it here. A few. This one here. I don't know if I can get it in the Hangout picture, but it's actually from a dream. The figures in it represent angels, and it was a dream of a friend of mine I met named Ariel at Rootwire, and she was pretty much putting me out of an energy clamshell. So it was almost like an underwater lifetime. And I've had several dreams where I've been in this like same world, which makes me wonder if that's not like some sort of different realm that could happen, to be there multiple times and have like the same scenery and the same energy, the same characters. And she picked me up out of this clamshell, and she activated all my chakras and like healed me. So I tried to portray that in the painting. And the thing that was getting me was like the jellyfish was like trying to sting my energy and suck the energy out of me. And that's like something that inspired this painting. So like that's just kind of like an explanation of how I would take a dream and try to put it into something else. And I try to put other people's dreams or theories when they explain them to me into like a picture. That way that they have a visual, because I'm a visual learner, and when someone's trying to explain something to me, I'm in my head, I'm like visualizing it and trying to figure out how I could draw it or how I could explain it to somebody else. And that's just what inspires me, is those kinds of energies, to show people what I see in my brain.
Awesome. So let's see. We do not have any more questions. Maybe in the email. I'm going to check my email real quick. While I'm doing that.
Real quick, I think David Diamondheart asked me if I changed my name. I did not legally change my name like he had. But I choose to not use my last name as part of my I guess creation of myself, because I was adopted and I changed homes several times and changed like families several times. And though they were all within my bloodline, they all had different last names. So I don't feel like I have a necessarily surname that I resonate with. So when I created, or well, it was created for me. When Shantastic was created for me, I felt like it needed a last name too. And that's why the shine got added, as well as the fact that it just brightens my day. I needed that full surname factor. But it has been something I thought about. I just don't know how well people would take to talking to someone whose name was officially Shantastic Shine legally. Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Oh my gosh, that would be the best. Okay. So.
When are you going to legally change your name to Sealamon?
I'll just keep that in quotes.
Okay.
Yeah, talk about Archangel Metatron in there, so it's a good conversation. Keep up the Archangel talk.
Metatron is a huge influence in my sacred geometry art.
Shout out to Metatron. Okay, it's time for mustaches, everybody. We all know what that means. Yay. And if anybody in the audience had a mustache question, go ahead and shout it out. And if we see one we like, we will.
Ashton's kitty cat.
Wow. Well, I look like Guy Fawkes. Okay, so
I'm looking for a
we got
mustache.
Princess
There we go.
with a mustache. There we go. And Kitty mustache. And goatee mustache. So, did anybody have a mustache question
Impossible.
ready?
I have a mustache question.
Okay.
All right, Shans.
Samantha said she wants to change her name to Skyla Hrana. Is that how you say it? Skyla Hrana. Hrana. Skyla Hrana. Okay, so Shantastic is back, and we are ready for the question.
Okay. I don't even know if this makes sense, but if you were in Neverland, like in Peter Pan, what would you do if you were there?
Oh, wow.
Well,
Pretty much if you could do anything and physics wasn't applied.
I think I would stick up with the never grow up factor. Because I don't necessarily want to be old. I think I should have mentioned that in my whole you may never have smarter thing is the thought of getting old freaks me out. So I just want to be able to feel young and healthy forever and share magical experiences. And I would totally dig flying. I think flying would be sweet.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I could go wherever I wanted in a matter of seconds. I might have to fly for a while. Might not be that fast.
I personally would go on the most epic adventure across the sea on a ship, like a, I don't want to say pirate ship, but maybe if it was like peaceful pirates, peaceful pirate ship, and then just like go to an island and find just
That could be the name, Peaceful Pirates.
what's that?
Oh, sorry to interrupt. I was just saying that could be the name of your group, the Peaceful Pirates.
So pirate. There we go.
We also have space pirates.
Oh God.
Space pirates. So, oh yeah, we'll get to the island and there'll be all these mango trees, and then you have the most delicious, like, organic, real mango goodness, and there'll just be all these delicious fruits everywhere, just like yum, yeah. That's what I would do.
I love that.
Yeah. What about you?
Adventure with fruits. I was just imagining what I would do, and I think I would try to imagine as much good fruit as possible, like you were saying. But I think I'd start a meditation group. We were all floating and flying and levitating in a circle. Then we would meditate while we were flying. And I think that would be crazy.
Meditate science.
Meditate.
Get your Merkaba in order. That might be possible.
Oh, true.
I like to skydive meditate. That'd be interesting.
Oh, man. I'm doing that right now.
Skydive meditation.
David said, "You guys are silly. I like that." Did you have a mustache question?
Me?
Yes.
I must ask you guys what your biggest goal for next year is.
Good one.
What's your 2015 goal, Ashton? I put you and your little kitty nose on the spot.
My 2015 goals revolve around music and becoming more financially independent, and really, I think, traveling with my music and really just opening as many hearts as possible and becoming as healthy as I can, really activating my light body and my physical body as much as possible, and I really want to get as many crystals as possible.
Nice.
Nice.
Yep.
Beautiful. We got some last night, and I wanted to show this to you, Ashton. It's few ammonites, and Organite.
This is actually what I wanted to grab too. It was mine.
It's hard to see because it's unfocused, but anyway,
Wow.
you see the two ammonites there.
It has a mustache.
It does have a mustache. And
Is that part of it? Is that kind of
that is part of it.
cool? I love it.
Yeah. I've never had a crystal with a mustache before. It's very masculine.
What's your biggest goal for 2015?
Oh, yeah. I was going to say my big goal would entail the podcast, and what I would like is to have a luxurious studio with like professional cameras and invite people from all over the world to come to the studio and record the most beautiful, high-quality podcast for Project Bring Me Life, and to just really create a really awesome network with Project Bring Me Life, and just keep improving with PBM2L and taking it as far as they go.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's my big goal. What about you?
I like both of your goals, so instead of stealing them, I'm just going to say those both sound like doable things.
Yes,
And,
I witness your goals.
Pirate. Peaceful pirate.
I think my goal, and I was telling you about this earlier, is I want to really get my Oracle deck out. And I figured it out. I even went into mathematic details that there's 52 weeks in a year, and I wanted to have 52 cards. So if I do a card every week, then that's totally doable. So keep me motivated, people. And then I also just want to raise everybody's vibrations and give them awesome messages and pretty cards. and to paint the states project. It needs to be done. I'm doing that by the end of January 2015. So I need states. Even if you can't donate, even though the donation would be beautifully accepted, you can still okay.
I read a comment, and it was David. He said he's been skydiving 8 times. He says nothing beats an orgasm. See, I think it's my turn now to ask a question. So I mustache a question to everybody. If you're in the chat room, just type this answer out. And oh, you're listening. Okay. So I mustache you all. Looking back at this last year, at 2014, what are some of the major turning points or shifting points that really stick out to you? And we'll start with Shan and then Ashton.
What are some of the sticking points, you said?
The main shifting points from this past year, or just any moment that really stands out to you.
Like personally or as a collective?
Either.
Personally, I graduated college this year, which was a big goal for me. I also lost my grandma, but then I also pretty much received you as my best friend and got the podcast going as full force as we could. And those have been my highlights and downfalls, but is what really pumped my awakening full speed. So those would be my key points of 2014.
Thank you.
For me, I made a few big moves this year. When I moved out of Kalamazoo about 4 to 5 months ago, and then I went to Detroit for a few months, and then I got to stay with you guys for a few months. That was really the most potent release I've ever had in my entire life, because I'm moving to the West Coast, and I've wanted to do this for so long, and it's all kind of paralleling with my project, expanding my music, and yeah, just moving is huge. It feels good. It feels good to follow my highest dreams.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Um,
Sorry. I just wanted to read Samantha's answer. Samantha says, the day she kicked the dialysis machine goodbye and got my beautiful gift. And meaning all you guys, because you're so special to me. Oh.
Hey guys, I have to go, but
Okay.
I want to thank everybody, and I love you guys so much, and I can't wait to see you again, and I will be spreading your messages everywhere I go. So thank you so much for having me, and I hope you guys have the
Amazing
greatest
college
Christmas
back.
ever.
Have the best one ever,
You
too.
too. We love it. Have fun doing what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I love you guys.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye, Ashton.
It was so nice having him back this week.
Yeah, it was nice having Ashton. So we thank Ashton for that. And David Diamondhart answered. He said his legal name change and moving from Pennsylvania to Ohio was some of his big turning points.
It's awesome. I'm glad everyone's got some big points and that they're able to accept those and reflect on them.
Yes, indeed. So the last segment of the show, if you wanted to, you could take off your mustache. But the last segment of the show is to just give some shout-outs, if you have any shout-outs to give. So we'll start with you, of course.
Well, real quick, I just wanted to give a shout out to some of the people that did already donate or respond to my Paint the States project. I've got Marty in Kentucky, Samantha in Washington, Dustin in Ohio, Sean in Virginia, Kiki in Maryland, Cricket in Michigan.
Cricket!
Yeah, Barbara,
Cricket!
Barbara, one of our fans in New York, Callie England
Yay, Kelly!
in Oklahoma, Timmy May in
Kelly's in
Pennsylvania, Felicia in West Virginia,
Nice.
Paisley in Florida, and Dale and Jessica in Indiana. And actually, I think I have another one named Markle in Oregon. So those are who I've got currently. They gave me a shout out and gave me an address so that I could get them a painting to their states. But if I didn't just mention the state, I probably don't have it covered yet. And my last shout out, even though I just kind of did a whole string of them, I wanted to give a shout out to Patty. I believe his last name is Grizzard.
Yes, Patty.
Him and a dear friend of ours, Selena, who we've had on the podcast, gifted us some Organites, and this is the one I actually just received, and it's beautiful. It's pyrite and blue apatite, I believe, and this one is malachite and garnet, and they're my Celtic karma and goddess symbol, and I really love them. That's my shout outs for today.
Yay.
But Patty makes amazing Organites, and you should check them out.
Where can they check them out at?
You can look up Patty Grizzard, I believe, on Facebook, or if you contact me about Organite, I can get you in touch with him because he's currently in the process of working on a new business, and we are super proud of him.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Patty, super proud of you, bro. He actually gave me. I don't have it with me in my pocket, but it's. I'll show it on another podcast.
Yeah, you're charging it up.
Some of the shoutouts that I would like to give first off would be Barbara Johnson. She's our featured supporter this month, and that's on our front page, our home page, and you can see where all this featured profiles are. But I would just like to say thank you to Barbara for all the support, and
Hey, Barbara.
and she actually read my my books, or my one book that I have online, just a few short stories, and I don't remember sharing that, but somehow she found it and read it, and the fact that she read it just really means that she is really supportive, and it's just nice to have somebody who will look into your stuff and then talk to you in detail, and she's a very wonderful guide and elder, so I thank you, Barbara. So more shout-outs. Kate Hill is our featured writer. Stratosphere is our featured musician. Of course, our featured artist is Shantastic. And our featured guide is Selena, who we just saw. So, Selena, if you're out there, we love you, and we appreciate everything you're doing. Also, Shine Time Studios is the featured sponsor, and they're the reason why we can do these podcasts, because we're here in their studio. So, thank you, Shine Time Studios.
Thank you for being a part of my studio.
Yes, definitely. So with that, we're coming to the end, and I'd just like to thank everybody for being part of this podcast, and especially the people in the chat room, because you really do make it worth it, the fact that you're watching and interacting with us. And
We love the chat room.
we do. We love the chat room, and we can't express it enough.
We have to go back and check it several times after the podcast just because you guys are doing such a good job at keeping it going. It's hard to keep up while we're live, but it's so awesome going back and be able to like reflect on the messages and just know what we did good and what you guys were paying attention to, and it's just awesome.
Yeah.
And while he's letting me talk, if you guys have anybody that you're interested in getting on the podcast or the website in general, it's a really good time because we're actually already booking and we're getting pretty much scheduled up. You can see that CeeLo's got it all updated for us. We got the schedule up and running. We've got card readings coming for the new moon and the full moon, and things are happening. So it's really a good time for people to jump on and send us their sign-up sheets so that we can get them a promo page, and if they want to be in line for a live show, we need to know.
Yes, definitely. We do have a lot of people scheduled now, and that is just right above this window. So we do have the schedule up for everybody to see, and we do have plenty of card readings coming up. So if you would like any sort of card reading, then just look at the schedule, and there you can find our episodes in the card reading area. Just real quick, I wanted to say that David Diamond Hart wanted to shout out Archangel Metatron for inspiring him to create art and shapes.
I think Archangel Metatron in general inspires a lot of artistic creativity, and he deserves a shout out.
Yes, he does. David also said he wants to give a shout out to everybody he's interacted with, because it would be lonely on the planet without everybody else. So, and Samantha said she has an idea for an episode, so we would love to hear that. Just send us a message anywhere you can. So with that, we are going to say goodbye for now. Thank you, everybody.
Happy holidays!
Happy holidays, especially happy holidays.
It's Christmas Eve for those of you that celebrate it.
Christmas Eve, everybody. Christmas Eve. Have a wonderful Christmas Eve, a Christmas Eve, and a Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And we hope you love this picture as much as we do.
Yep. So we'll see you again next week. We're actually not going to do the next few. We're not going to do the 30th this month because we just wanted to take a break for the last week of the year, and we've been working really hard. So we're going to take a break, and we'll be back after the New Year. And the first one will be on the 5th, January 5th. It's a Monday, and we'll be doing it with Sarah Hall, who's going to be giving full moon readings.
Perfect time for your New Year reading.
Yes, it is. So thank you, everybody. We love you. Namaste. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Christmas, Mahana, Kwanzaa. Whatever you celebrate it with love, joy, and passion. Namaste.
Good night, everybody. Enjoy your families.